Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty keg of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scared money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
And here we go.
Welcome to the Balking Dead, guys, where there is no sleep for the wicked, but I finally got some last night. I ain't gonna lie. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets, and it's Monday. It's a new month. Happens to be my birthday month, so we eating all month long. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks, guys. If you haven't, go over there and use promo code PUBSPORTS. On your first deposit, they will match you up to $100, minimum of $25, simply by using that promo code. As you can tell, guys, we have a new sponsor on this show. When you win, they want in, guys. We bringing you a new energy powder without all that BS chemicals that Big Pharma is trying to kill us with. Dubby, not Doobie, even though I know 90% of you got one hanging out your mouth right now, guys. Dubby has a nice boost with no come down to your day. By simply using promo code PUBSPORTS, you get 10% off your first order. So go scan the QR code on screen, use that promo code PUBSPORTS, and get you some of that good thanks to the fellas over at Pub Sports Radio. On this show, guys, you already know I give you the bets on the pitchers we're going to talk about, and I will give you all the information you need to finalize your own and the reasons why I stay off. So enough small talk. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate you all for coming. Shout out to the best producer in the whole wide world, Big Show Picks. Y'all know the drill. Smash the like, hit the retweet, and make sure you have them notification bells on. April has always been my worst month, guys. The last 2 years, I've headed into May down units and still would fight my way back to a 64% clip or better by the end of the year. Well. We had 63% on the year and 69% the last 45 days, guys. There's been 32 days in baseball, and I average less than 2 strikeout props a day. Some days I bet 1. Some days I empty the clip. I wait for my spots, and then I'll empty it when it's time, guys. So let's get to it and talk the best freaking sport in the whole wide world. We do have an alt parlay today since the books want to play with people. We will take them to where some of these guys belong and make some money without chasing some of these numbers we will talk about. We also have a PrizePicks 3-pick play of the day, guys. When we've done these, we don't do them every day with PrizePicks. When we have, we ain't lost. So PrizePicks don't like the Sharpie show, the Balking Dead, guys. So on this show, I use FanDuel lines as my lines because they tend to come out first. Then I compare them to what PrizePicks has up. Let's talk about the first game we're going to get into, and that's that doubleheader about to crack off after this Braves and Mets game. I did take a live under in that game, so if people can keep me posted on the total in the chat, that would be great. So let's talk Tyler Megill at the Braves. Or versus the Braves. Black Book number 64, 2022, 23.5 K percentage with a 6.6 walk percentage. This year, 17.3 K percentage and a 10.1 walk percentage. Morning line was a 5+ at -130. He's now at a -134 right before the show popped off. PrizePicks did not have nada on him because it's a doubleheader. So projected lineups is 5 righties, 4 lefties in these doubleheaders. Some tend to put them out a little quicker, where some could wait 5 to 10 minutes before the game. So if you're wanting to get in, make sure you're paying attention to lineups. Strikeouts K per 9 in 2022. Home, he had an 11 K per 9, while on the road, a 9 K per 9. Last year versus lefties, a 7.5, and righties, a 12.1. This year, in 5 games already, the guy's got an 8.1 K per 9 versus lefty, and he has dropped 6 with a 6.1 K per 9 versus the right-handed side. Man, oh man, I wish Megill, guys, was up to par with last season, guys, because this is such a good spot, at least by the strikeout percentage the Braves have and how they tend to load up righties, which will favor him a lot last year. But he's fallen off a cliff, guys, in a small sample size this year. So what's wrong? Well, guys, he's predominantly a 2-pitch pitcher, and he throws a fastball slider combo 73% of the time. Well, that's okay, but his velocity is down 1.4 miles per hour on his fastball and a whopping 2.7 on his slider. I mean, damn, Gina, that's not good, guys. And there is no way in God's green earth that I can put my money on this man. And the fact that I do expect, well, I did expect Strider to get the win, guys. He did have the lead 6-5 at the end, and it all depends on who wins the doubleheader, guys, on what they will do. And I expected the Braves to win this game, but Mets were definitely humming their way back into the game. So with them having 2 days off, I still expect the same type of lineup, guys, their starting lineup that they would send out versus righties. And yeah, even though the lineup should favor him, even though the strikeout percentage should favor him, his velo being down means no thank you. And until he can start hitting what he was hitting last year in more than 1 game straight, I made Garcia wait 2 games. I made Javier wait 2 games. Like, 1 game's cool, show me 2, and then we'll start playing. And up to date right now, this guy needs to be set back down until he can figure it out. But they have nobody to bring back up because Max Scherzer likes to cheat too. So Megill's a simple pass, guys. If anything, I'd look to his under or at least his earn runs over. I think he gets cracked. So Equilaging Gallo, 3-run home run. Oh, man. Who's doing what? I just lost some money, man, huh? Damn. 11 with 2 on, 1 out. Oh, that hurts. Oh, just got kicked in the balls right there. All right, let's go. Back to baseball. All right, All right, guys, let's talk Charlie Morton in the next game. We're going to talk number 29 in the Black Book. Last year, he had a 28.2 K percentage and an 8.7 walk percentage. This year, a 20.2 K percentage with a 9.3 walk percentage. Morning line was 6+ -125. He is now at a -138. PrizePicks didn't have nothing on him either because it's a doubleheader. Last year, home, he had a 12.1 K per 9. Road, he had a 9.3 K per 9. Left-handeds, 10.5. Righties, 11.1. This year, 9.6 versus the left-handed side and a 7.3 K per 9 versus the right-handed side. Old man Charlie Morton, guys, he gets the Mets, and what I think is not the greatest spot, and not saying that the Mets are ever a good spot, but to see a team who I expect to be all starting, having 2 days off like I was talking about in the last game, guys, and they're probably going to need the win with what the score is where it's at. So now what does favor Morton here is, even though he is on the road, everyone will be like, oh, he pitches better at home. Now go back on the baseball card. He was just as good 2 years ago and even better on the road at home. So no matter where this guy's at, that's what favors him. He did play this team 4 times last year. That's not always good. He went 50-50 in his K prop over 5.5. So strictly of the fact of you need a good reason to play a K prop versus the Mets, as you can tell with Strider today. And the fact that he's 50-50 and 4 times last year, that's a coin toss, guys. I'm not betting juice on a coin toss. So, yeah, goodbye, Uncle Charlie. And let's talk about a guy that we do have some money on in a way that we're going to have to attack because Sharpie smacked these guys last night, and this shit jumped up by a whole shebangle. Number 57 in the black book, Mackenzie Gore versus the Cubs. 2022, he had a 23.3K percentage and a 12 walk percentage. This year, he has a 31.5K percentage and a 14.4 walk percentage. Opening line last night was 6 plus at minus 142. Morning line 7 plus minus 115. And he's now at a plus 115 right before the show. PrizePicks has him at a flat 6, pitching outs under over 17.5. Cubs are projected 8 right-handed bats and 1 lefties. K per 9 last year, 9.5 at home, 9.1 on the road with an 8.4 versus the left-handed side and a 9.5 versus the right-handed side. This year, guys, 20.3 K per 9 versus the left-handed side. Yeah, small sample size, but only 3.1 innings of work versus lefties, guys. And he struck out 7 of the 10 that he's seen. And we get Cody Bellinger for at least 1, maybe 3 today, baby. So, yeehaw. And righties this year, he's got a 10.9 K per 9. Now, Gore, guys, I grabbed last night. Within an hour, he jumped up to a 6.5. So let's talk Gore at 6.5 because the 6s are long gone. And the way I do my lines is I like to bet guys' averages, guys. And I placed this line at 5.5 minus 110, but I was willing to pay up to minus 140 because the way this guy is. They gave me a minus 142, so I pounced. So if we just do his number like the books did and not take out the fact that the man wasn't Gore's second half of the season, yeah, that's how we get a 5.5. Now, the people who do lines and make lines like me sat there and was like, nah, we take out the second half when a guy's hurt, like we do with Evaldi, like we do with Peralta. And this is why we've been able to capitalize on these books because they're still going off of the second half of last year compared to this year combined. And he wasn't the same man the second half of last year. He was hurt. The poor little man was hurt. Well, he's not hurt, guys. If we take out the second half of last season, it's exactly where it should be now, guys. Maybe it should be around the plus 110-ish line, and then that's what we get, plus 115 where it's at now. So even if you want to get in on a half unit now, even though the line moved up, this is where the line should be. This is where the juice should be. And let's talk a little bit more about it. Gore last year, guys, was hurt the second half. Before he got hurt, he was averaging a 10.1 K per 9, and he finished the year with a 9.2 K per 9. So he fell off, guys, second half when he got hurt. When his velo went down, he went to shit. Is what it is. Knowing these pitchers helps a lot at the beginning of the seasons. And with Gore, guys, being a Padre most of his career till he got traded, I watched him grow up, guys, in the minors with the AAA team being 25 minutes away from my house and $5 beer nights, guys. So definitely seen me some Mackenzie Gore growing up and knew what this kid has and was, and he was the main piece in the Soto trade, guys. So he does not have a favorable matchup here, guys. Not at all. But Gore is a fucking beast. He has not had one favorable matchup by the numbers this year, and he's hit the over 5.5 in every game. That's why I say numbers are like lawyers, guys. They don't necessarily lie to you. They just don't tell the whole truth. And that's where we get into here with the Cubs numbers. They're great versus lefties. Not just good, great. But good pitching beats good hitting, and I expect this man to go out and do what he's doing all year. Pitch really, really, really well. And the fact that is the game is back, that it came back down to a plus 115, guys. I don't hate it, guys. I think it's worth a half unit shot here because what's been brought up to, well, by one of the guys who bets my plays all the time is over my last 45 plays, I've won 32. Well, out of those 32 that I've won, only 4 of those have not gone over by more than 1 strikeout, guys. So usually I bet guys on their numbers, on their averages, and I bet when they're going to break through it. So I'm not really surprised hearing that, but it wasn't something I tracked, guys. But definitely something I started doing was adding them one up and like round robining them when I have 2 in a day. And you know, if I hit it, I hit it. Why am I going to take it down when I have the evidence telling me that they go over by more than 1, way more than they go under? So Let's talk a guy, guys, that we had to add into the book because of what he did last week. After taking him out, but we talked about it. This was his chance, and I told you guys I thought this guy was going to go shove. We went and made a little combination with him, took him and Miller up to 11, and we should have took those guys up to 18, guys, because both of those went out and let their nuts hang. Miller struck him out while getting took into the woodshed, but that's where I tell people strikeouts do not correlate with totals. And that's when I got on Darvish yesterday. Like, really? Thin air? This guy pitches great in thin air. What do you mean? I go back through Colorado, and now this guy knows if they hit the ball, they're going to just hit a home run. That means you got to strike everybody fucking out. Durr. And then you're going to give me a bunch of lefties? Durr. I even told my boy Trey, bro, 9. And I got dumb. I did a greatness parlay yesterday. Put him at 9. Put so-and-so there. And I had the stupid Bruins to win on there. And that's what cucked me. But is what it is. And now we get to talk Jose Berrios, guys. 83 in the black book. At the Red Sox, 2022, 19.8 K percentage with a 6 walk percentage. This year, 26.1 K percentage with a 4.3 walk percentage. Opening line was even money to the 5. Closing line plus 108 to the 5. PrizePicks has him at a 4 straight. Earned runs outs were not available on PrizePicks, where the projected lineup is 5 lefties and 4 righties. K per 9 in 2022, 8.8 at home, 6.7 on the road. Versus lefties, horrendous, 6.7 K per 9 and righties an 8.7. Well, let's fast forward to this year. He's got a 9 K per 9 versus the left-handed side and pretty much the same thing versus the right-handed side. Now we get to talk about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Jose Berrios, who I may or may not have called Jose Bummios a few times on this show and took out the book last year because he was a trash can. Well, we talked about him in the last 2 starts, guys, and I've been spot on. A trap versus Houston. He didn't hit, but he pitched a really good game. And a good matchup by the numbers versus a White Sox team where we talked about how I expect him to go out there and shove, and that's exactly what he did. We talked about it last week when he had to sit down with Pedro Martinez a few weeks back. Jose Berrios has become a new Jose Berrios, guys, and the Jays, he's become what the Jays were expecting when they paid this man a lot of money. People tend to forget this kid is only 27 years old and just getting to his prime with over 5 years of major league experience. 5 years, guys, and he's a kid. Like, at the end of the day, not everybody shows up ready to go. He's had his good years, his bad years, and it looked like Jose Berrios is putting together right now a stretch of where we need to get on him. And it is what it is, and let's talk about it. Last year, guys, Berrios struggled. We talked about it. A 6.7 K per 9 versus lefties. He didn't do well. And what did he do versus the Red Sox? Just hit his over 4.5 strikeouts 2 or 3 times, with one being a back-to-back. And none of those times did the Walker strikeout number say play. The only thing that did say play was the Sox weren't hitting in those games. And we've talked about that. Projecting your guy to go long enough is another way to hit your strikeout prop. Not just looking at strikeout percentages. We've got to also look at how does a team bat. If they're not hitting, we could take advantage of our guy going 6-7 innings. If they are hitting, we need to try to get this shit in 5 because we maybe ran quickly, guys. So at the end of the day, I thought this was a trap. 4.5 opened up even money. I'm like, why are they giving Jose Berrios 4.5 even money? This should be a minus 140. Then the more and more I thought about it and dug into it for this show, I had to bet it, guys. I'm like, call me freaking crazy, but I'm going to get in on some Jose Berrios. I get why it's plus money. It's plus money because they are going to load up lefties, and they think this man has a problem striking out lefties, guys. And at the end of the day, this man is not the guy from last year. If we go back to his 2021 top 3 Cy Young year, that dude had a almost 11 K per 9 versus the left-handed side. Now, I'm not saying he's that guy now, But I'm telling you guys, we don't know what he is, guys. He's got so much upside and he's humming, guys, and he feels good. And when a Latin player feels good and he's humming, you want to back that dude, guys. And I think this guy's going to go on a long, long stretch. And I think even if he pitches 6, 7 innings, we can hit it. And I think even though the Red Sox numbers say they could beat the dog shit out of him, I still think he could end up hitting it that way, guys. So I ended up getting in on Jose Berrios just for a half unit at the 4.5 plus 115 because, yeah, the Red Sox are top 10 in all hitting categories right now. They are not striking out, guys. I get that. I'm going to have to pay attention to that, but numbers don't always mean everything. And I think I'm getting an advantage on the books right now because they think this man doesn't strike out lefties, where I see a whole different Berrios than what the books are seeing. So I'll get in on some plus money, 4.5, Jose Berrios. The first play of our prize, or actually the second play of our PrizePicks play of the day, because I forgot to say the first one was, Mackenzie Gore was 6 on PrizePicks, guys, for his strikeout props. We're taking it at 6. Like, I bet him already at 5.5. We'll take them at the 6 to where 6 is a push and 7 is a win. With the 3 plays that we got going today, a push will drop our 3 pick to a 2 at worst. Now let's talk about the second play of our PrizePicks play of the day, and that's Jose Berrios. They have him out 4. Once again, 4 strikeouts is a push, 5 is a win, but on a 3 pick, if 1 pushes, we still got our 2 pick going. So we're going to take Mackenzie Gore at 6 on PrizePicks and Berrios at 4, and we will get into the last guy when we get into the last guy who we got going there. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate you all for showing up. 36 likes, 70 in here. That math don't add up. Smash the like if you like what you're hearing. Appreciate you all. And I hear you, High Heat, but this is a different Jose Berrios now. Jose Berrios went and shut out the Astros on the road for 7 strong innings after the talk with Pedro Martinez. Went back home, wiped out a White Sox team. This guy's humming, and I'm willing to back Jose Berrios, no longer Bummios. He may be Bummios at the end of the day when I'm cursing at myself, but is what it is. I'm willing to take some plus monies. Now let's talk Luis Garcia versus the Giants. Number 49 in the black book. 2022, we had a 24.4 K percentage and a 7.3 walk percentage. This year, 27.2 K percentage with an 8.8 walk percentage. Opening line, 7 plus minus 118. Closing line, 7 plus minus 136. 6.5 on PrizePicks. Excuse me. Pitching outs under over 17.5 on PrizePicks. Projected lineup, 5 lefties, 4 righties. Strikeouts K per 9 last year, 9.3 at home, 8.7 on the road. Technically, guys, his strikeouts have always gone up at home better throughout his career than on the road, like most Astros pitchers do. Not saying they cheat, but they did come up with spider tack and bang on a trash can, so maybe they do. This year, guys, he has a 9.8 K per 9 versus lefties compared to an 8.5 last year and a 10.7 this year versus the right-handed side compared to a 9.5. So he's jumped up K per 9s, both lefties and righties this year in his first 5 games. Now, this was a man I wanted to get on last night, guys, and not that way. I'm talking about betting. Calm down there. Ruh-roh, buddy. But the books want to be cax, guys, and jump this man up 2 strikeouts, if not at least 1, from where this man needs to be at. And I think he should be 5.5 plus money, and I was willing to get involved with that. But 6.5, I do not chase numbers, guys. I bet guys averages, and when a books fucks with them like they are right now, guys, either taking them down or jumping them up in this case like they did with Garcia, I just got to let it go, guys. Garcia has only hit over 6.5, 3 of his last 10 games. That does not warrant a minus 118 plus type line. They are putting a tax on how he pitched last game, which his under-over was a 4.5 last game, and another tax what Darvish did to these guys last night, and the fact that these guys are coming back from elevation. They're just adding on too much right now, guys, to the fact that Raider wanted to come say hi. What up, Raider? What up, Numau? All right, guys. I have 9 cats, and they're all sports-related names. And yeah, my black cat is named Raider. Duh. All right. So let's get back into it, guys. Like at the end of the day, I cannot pay minus 118. The 6.5 does not warrant that for this man right here. I don't freaking care. I do not chase. They are putting a tax on this man. And yeah, at the end of the day, not a good thing. My thing is good pitching does beat good hitting. Garcia is a great pitcher, and his velocity has been back. And that's where we talked about being able to bet on guys again. And the books know his velo's back, and they're taxing you for that, guys. But still, I take in last year like they do, and this man has only hit this number 3 out of 10 times. So, yes, the strikeout and walk percentage favors him here, but they are hitting righties at a pretty good clip, guys. So, there is volatility involved. And the fact of the matter is, the books jumped him up. No, thank you, guys. Not saying he don't hit it. I just don't chase. I thought he was in a really good spot today, and I thought it should be 5.5 at worst. And the fact they actually put it up to 6.5 means Sharpie says, "Have a great day. Have a great day." So I don't chase, but wouldn't be surprised if this man does go out and hit it or loses by the hook. Wouldn't be surprised, guys. Number in the black book, the last guy we're going to talk about, number 4, Blake Snell versus the Reds. Last year, he had a 32K percentage and a 9.5 walk percentage. This year, a 23.9K percentage and a whopping 16.5 walk percentage. Opening line 7 plus minus 112. Closing line, it's at minus 110, hasn't moved much. PrizePicks has him at a 6.5, whereas pitching outs under over is at 15.5. Projected lineups is 9 righties, 0 lefties. Last year's K per 9. At home, he had 12 K per 9, same on the road, 12.1. This year, he has a 15K per 9 small sample size versus lefties compared to last year's 11. And versus the right-handed side, he's down to a 9.4K per 9, where last year he was at a 12.3. This was going to be my last time, guys, betting Snell, and it may be. So let's talk why I won't be betting the 6.5. And you may get tired of me saying this, guys, but I do not do what the books want. And the books jumped him up 1 strikeout without even giving him plus money. And they're finally coming down to even money, guys. So he should have been a 5.5. Let's be real. He's hit the over 5.5 one time this year, and only 5.5, 50% of the time his last 10 games. And they give us a 6.5 because the way the Reds are playing. I get it. Their numbers versus lefties are bottom 10 in walk percentage. They're not really striking out, guys, but they're not hitting the broadside of a barn. And that's the way Snell should hit this over today. And that's why the books jumped him up the extra one and wasn't going to give you where he should be at, and was going to say, if you want Blake Snell today, you're going to pay an extra strikeout. And I'm sure people will, guys, but Sharpie don't chase unless it's a BBW, guys. So at the end of the day, I was a very confused teenager. Blake Snell is a very confused man, guys. So yeah, this is how I will attack Blake Snell in this spot. I am going to do my alt parlay. For those that didn't get Gore last night at 6, we're going to get Gore at 5 because Gore is not in a spot by the numbers, that we should play him. But I still do not believe numbers mean everything. So we're going to take Gore down to 5. And then we're going to take Blake Snell down to 6, where he should be at, guys. And that's a minus 141. And I did put a half unit on that. And the way if you want to attack Snell, and the way that I think, and the way that I'm going to attack it on PrizePicks as the third leg of our PrizePicks, is Blake Snell over 15.5 outs. Now, he hasn't hit that once this year. Now, Blake Snell's issue has been that 15% walk rate. Well, the Reds are walking at a 6% clip, bottom 5, guys. So the thing that's going to favor Blake Snell the most is these guys aren't hitting and they're not walking, which should add up to Blake Snell having a great day. Now, I don't chase numbers at 7 because it shouldn't be 6.5. So like I said, we're going to pull them down to 6, take Gore down to 5, alt parlay at minus 141. Now, if you want to get in on some Snell, quarter unit, take him to 9, get yourself that good plus money, because this dude should put his nuts on the table today versus this Reds team, guys. So don't go balls deep. Go take him up and get yourself your unit that way by putting a quarter unit on a plus 450, guys. So just take the man up to 9, quarter unit if you want to bet some Snell, because shouldn't be a 6.5. Like I said, should not be a 6.5. Today was a day, guys, where I wanted to get involved with 3 guys, and the books priced me out on 2 of them. And what I mean by that is they added at least 1 strikeout to where their average was at. And I just don't do that. Homie, don't play that, as Homie the Clown would say. Guys, I wish I had my thing to beat someone with. But I bet when people will go through their average and not a tax the books will put on these pitchers because the teams they're playing. Yes, the Reds strike out to lefties and the Giants strike out. But both of the fact that they were adding 1 or 2 on to Snell and Garcia is an easy pass for me, guys. The one guy that I did get in on, and it moved within an hour, was Mackenzie Gore for 6 plus minus 142. He's now at 6.5. And at the end of this, I'll tell you guys how we're going to get in on it, guys. The question to me is, I've heard it 100 times. Would you take him 2-7? And my answer to that now, because of one of the people that bets my plays, tells me, he goes, I bet people's averages, which is 5.5. The only information I can give you, which you need to take, is from the guy Bro Chacho on Twitter. And on my last 45 bets, 32 have won. Out of the 32 winners, 28 of those have hit by more than 1.5 strikeouts. So willingly, if you want to take it at 6.5, put a half unit on it, and know that if I tend to hit the strikeout, it tends to hit that next one up. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And shout out for somebody who follows what I do. Appreciate it very, very much. So yeah. So let's get into the next guy that we're going to talk about on this show. And that's Jose Berrios, guys. I did pull a trigger on him at 4.5 plus 115. And I put a half unit on him. There is some volatility in the Red Sox bats. And the line technically should be minus 140, but I get why they're doing it. And it's because they're loading up lefties and they think Berrios can't load up lefties. And the numbers say don't. So I get why the plus money is. But once again, numbers are like lawyers. They don't necessarily lie to you. They just don't tell you the truth the whole time. So we will be on Berrios at plus 115 for a half unit. And the alt parlay that we had to put in, because Gore did go up to 6.5, is we're going to take Gore down to 5. Yes, I'm on Gore for 5.5, but we're going to take him down to 5. The numbers say not to play Gore, but I don't care what numbers say. I say Gore is that dude, and we're going to take him down to 5. Then we're going to get Snell and put him where the books jumped him up to 6.5. No, we're going to put him to where he belongs at the 5.5 spot. And we're going to get a minus 141 by adding those 2 together at that alt parlay. I put a half unit on that today. And then our PrizePicks 3-pick play of the day is we have Gore at a straight 6 strikeouts, Berrios at a straight 4 strikeouts, all to the over, of course, and Snell over 15.5 outs. If they land on 4 or 6, speaking of Berrios or Mackenzie, then our 3-pick drops to a 2-pick and we still cash. At the end of the day, both of these guys I'm on, and I'm willing to put them on my PrizePicks. So appreciate you all for tuning in. If you want to take the quarter unit shot, throw it on Snell for 9. Don't pay the 6.5. He don't belong there. Even if he hits it, he don't belong there. But he can have one of those days. So you don't hurt by losing a quarter unit. You can get hurt by losing a full unit on Blake damn Snell. So appreciate you guys for all showing up. Smash the like on your way out. And of course, guys, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSports. Get a match deposit on your first deposit up to 100, minimum of 25. Until next time, I'm Sharpie's Bets. This show's produced by Big Show Picks and on Pub Sports Radio. Some say we be pubbing. I say pubbing we be.
Keep firing, assholes!